Robert, you're on my Fez.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Robert from Vancouver, British Columbia. How you doing this morning?
How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Hey, Fez, I'm just curious to know, with your lunchbox collection, a bunch of us up here in Canada, we used to collect all of our hockey heroes and stuff like that. What kind of sports heroes would you have in your collection if you were collecting sports lunchboxes?
Yeah, you're a Buccaneer guy, right, Fez?
Yeah, I don't know if they have Tampa Bay Buccaneer lunchboxes.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the two lunchboxes I had in my life, one was all the NFL teams, which had the logos on it. I was obsessed with that. And the other one, I think, was Batman. And then by the time you got to third grade, if you carry a lunchbox, the other kids would take it off you and beat you until you were in a coma. So I had to scream at my mom, don't get me a lunchbox. I've already got the word on what they do to third graders that are carrying lunchboxes.
My first lunchbox was an HR Puffin-Stuff lunchbox. I had that one.
How old are you?
Not that old.
Seems very... Let me ask you this. Was it metal or plastic?
It was metal.
Oh, my God.
It was that rusty metal. And the thermos...
Rusty? What's he get used?
And that thermos, glass inside, or
Yeah.
however they used to make them.
I don't even think they would give a kid a thermos these days, would they?
No, I can't imagine. They'd probably come with a sippy cup.
When you were younger, some of the kids would have a thermos in case they wanted a nice chowder or some chili at school. It's a fucking insane thing. His is to take hot things in.
I would totally get that some days. Like, for some reason, a thermos, a little wider one,
Yeah.
with a plaid design on it, and SpaghettiOs in it.
Bro, plaid design also would have got you killed at my school. A fucking plaid design was for a girl. A boy with a plaid design, they would dig his eyeball out of his head.
Yeah, I could tell I was getting my mom's work thermos when I was getting any sort of hot food.
She might have just put a tamponi in there. Because I don't know what it is about young kids. They're looking for the slightest weakness. I remember kids going to school with that would wear their glasses until they got to school. Because God forbid you should have any eyesight problems around other kids. Because they think that's a way to kick you until you're dead.
Of course, I had the horrible experience with the cupcake.
Being gay?
No, with the cupcakes on my birthday.
What happened there?
Well,
wait a minute. Is that when you tried to fuck a cupcake?
No, I did not make love to a cupcake.
What happened?
That was third grade, and my birthday is the end of March, so it's always around Easter time.
Let me write that down. I want to get you something this year.
You should already know when my birthday is, March 31st.
$1?
No, more.
Okay.
And my mother thought it would be so cute if she made cupcakes for the class for my birthday, close to Easter, and green icing with dyed green crushed coconut as grass, and a single jelly bean representing an Easter egg on top. What third grader eats shredded coconut? None. And nobody wanted my lousy frickin' cupcakes in the third grade. I went home just crushed and embarrassed. That kids were disgusted. I mean, you're bringing cupcakes to class. You think you could score some points with the other kids.
It should be an easy one, yeah.
Should be a slam dunk.
Yeah.
How hard is frickin' chocolate to come up with? That's what kids like. No, I got, white cupcakes with green icing and green shredded coconut on top of them. No one would go near these things. They were so gross.
You don't think that they didn't want to eat it because they were worried about food from the gay kid?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think children hate shredded coconut.
Well, they're not crazy about gay kids either. I know that for a fact.
And it was a nightmare. Just awful. Just awful. I'll never forget that.
So kids actually turned down the cupcakes because of the shredded coconut.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you can always, scrape the coconut off, any sort of answer my mother would have given.
Yeah.
And you can't scrape shredded coconut off of something. Once you put shredded coconut on, it's there to stay. It's embedded. You're not going to get every damn piece of that.
It is a good point that you don't really see young kids that care much for shredded coconut. They're kind of plain. They like something sweet, something cakey. Then they're on their way.
Yeah, I know. Why didn't I just bring in liver cakes or something?
Why is it still hurting you? I'm going to guess 62 years after the fact.
It was not.
Are you mad at your mom for this?
Yeah, I just think bad judgment call.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Kids aren't going to eat coconut. Why am I? Then I have to take them all back home with me. You know, it's not even one of those things where it's like, we'll take these to the teacher's lounge, and the adults will enjoy them.
Why don't you just throw it in the woods next to your homework, where I used to chuck my homework on the way home? Any homework? None.
I wanted to take them home so she could see them uneaten. Look, so, I'm bringing home just as many as I left with.
So you thought that was a day Fatty Pneumonia was going to score some points, maybe go up a couple notches in the popularity.
It's the easiest thing ever. I always felt bad for kids who had their birthdays over the summer because they didn't get that free day of bringing in cupcakes and being the most popular person in the class for just one day.
Oh. Sorry it all went down on you like that. Seem to hold on to things, though. Hey, Joe, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Fezzy, I think you got some kind of shredded coconut issue. This is the second day in a row that you brought it up and can't even deal with it.
I brought up shredded coconut?
Every day.
Yeah, foods you can't stand as a kid.
Yeah, you bring up shredded coconut quite a bit as things that you don't like. Why wouldn't you do this? Taking a nice box of salmon. Smoked salmon from Seattle.
It couldn't have been a worse hit. It couldn't have been a bigger miss with the kids.
I still think it had a lot to do with the homo thing. I know when you're a kid, the homo kid, no one ever wants to eat his food. Mainly you're afraid his balls are in it.
You wouldn't take chocolate off of a homo kid.
Hey, look at me. I'm wide open. What do I care? You know what I'm saying? I live on the edge. I'm going to eat the homo kid's fucking food. I'm not going to lie to you. I know how others are. They can be cruel.
So, Fez,
I was like Bobby Kennedy when I was a little kid. I was wide open to other cultures.
Usually when you have a party and there's extra food, kids are dying to take it home. You have to bring it all back?
Yes, the teachers didn't even want these.
Fatty Pneumonia, nobody wants your cupcakes. Why, look at Fatty Pneumonia. His mom put shredded coconuts on the cupcakes. Let's all pee on them. First of all, you had the reputation of the kid who wouldn't pee in the urinal with everybody else.
Oh, right.
And now, the coconut problem.
Yeah, so it's just like, ugh. They're just kids staring at me like I had some sort of leprosy. You
would have loved because with your pee shy problem, at my school, the urinal was one fucking trough, and all the boys were sent, like, it was like pee time, you know what I mean? All the boys were sent at the same time to piss in this fucking trough. You would have went out of your mind.
Oh, there's no way I would have ever used the pee trough.
You would have been in the corner crying, holding your fucking shredded coconut cupcakes as tightly as you could.
When it was pee time for us,
yeah,
the bathroom, of course, we had to go down the sidewalk, all line up at the bathroom. I kept...
What do you have, an outhouse sidewalk?
Yeah.
You left your school to
go
to the bathroom?
No, the little sidewalk inside the courtyard of the school.
Your schools are wide open down there, huh?
Yeah.
And in our schools, once you got in, you fucking couldn't get out at all. They would hit the chain lock fence to keep any fucking winos from coming in and Marcus Hook.
Yeah, we had a big courtyard, and to get to any other classroom, you had to go outside and walk into that other classroom.
My rule of thumb as a kid was, if I step outside, I'm running. I am fucking taking off until somebody can run me down.
We got a runner.
Yeah.
So I would, as the line would be there for the little boys' room, I would constantly keep moving to the back of the line.
Oh, yeah.
And let other kids go on ahead. No, you can go ahead. No, you can go ahead. And try to be last in line.
No matter how bad you had to piss?
Yeah, exactly. And then once I went in there, I wasn't pissing anyway, so.
You just said no with your...
Just trying, but it not working.
You're pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Was there something wrong with your dick? Is it shaped like a corkscrew?
No, there's nothing wrong with my dick.
And how will you know? Until you start showing it off to the other kids, how do you know?
I shouldn't have to say it either, that there's nothing wrong with my dick.
Because I remember there was one kid uncircumcised, and we were fucking fascinated with him when we were kids. We were like, what is wrong with you?
That's got to be bizarre, like a disease or something, when you don't know what it is.
We found out he was non-Catholic. He had suffered from some kind of non-Catholic illness. He's what we would call a public kid.
So I remember in our bathroom we had one urinal and one stall in that boys' room. We did not have this trough thing.
Were you just down in between both of them on your knees? Who wants to get blown? Who wants to get blown?
Why would I be doing that as a child?
Loving to taste the cock?
No.
Maybe just really looking for a friend.
That wasn't it. Trust me, I did not want to go in that bathroom for any reason.
Not even to get your mouth on an ass pipe?
No, especially not to.
Okay. I don't know. Take it easy, Coconut. I'm just trying to find out things. I'm trying to interact. Buzzcock, you're on Ron and Fez.
Oh, you're great. Bringing me back to third grade Catholic school. We used to do the spinner. You walk up behind a guy pissing at the urinal and give him a quick quarter turn to the left, and you'd nail his buddy with piss all over him. With a riot.
We were always crossing the fucking streams, Ghostbusters style. And then I told you that it was like this long trough. So the thing was to stand at one end of it and see if you could piss all the way down and across the trough. It had to be a good 10-foot piss. I could never pull it off, but I saw kids hit the wall. Hitting the wall, you would become a legend in my school.
I wouldn't have made it into the trough. I wouldn't have been able to produce that much of a stream.
You were that pee shy, though, that you would worry about being in the bathroom at the same time as the other boys.
Yeah, always.
Brian, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Fez, yeah, I agree. It is hard to piss the heart on, isn't it?
All right, see, now you got that reputation. It's following you.
It shouldn't follow me. He just said it.
Wouldn't you, didn't you say when you were younger you used to get a bathroom pass just to go down there to sniff?
I never in my life raised my hand, Ron Bennington, and asked for a sniff pass.
Well, you're not going to fucking ask for it up front. It's, something that you live with undercover.
Nothing smells worse than a school bathroom, except maybe a school locker room.
I thought it smelled to you like acceptance. Here's Vic. Vic, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, hey, Ron, you mentioned that when you was in school, they chain link the fence and stuff to keep you from running. Well, when we went to school, at elementary school, the girls' restroom was in the back of the classroom, and the boys' restroom was in the front of the classroom. So
where the hell were you? Bum tussle?
We're talking about kindergarten through 5th grade.
So the bathroom was right attached to the class?
Yeah, like a little linen closet in the corner, in the front of the classroom and in the back. So if you went in there to take one healthy chili shit, all the rest of the kids and everybody could hear it and smell it all in the classroom.
So you never would have been able to deal with that, Fez.
That would have been worse, because then, what if the teacher heard what I was doing in there?
And you can't get by the pee shyness.
No.
Would it help to send Dave in with you?
No, it wouldn't help. That would make it worse. Someone in there with me.
No, but you need to get over this, or else the terrorists win.
I don't see how my pissing has anything to do with terrorism in the United States.
We're showing bravery. We're showing we're standing up to them. These colors don't run.
Or piss in front of other people.
Here's Scott. Scott, you're on Run Fez.
Ron, you're bringing back some great memories.
Yeah.
We had the trough at my school, and we had the pee Olympics every time we got a break, and someone would always stand at one end and see if they could, build up pressure and pee all the way across. And
now, in my mind, this was a 10-foot shot, but it must have been shorter, Fez. It must have been, 5, 6 feet. But I know that there was enough to get every boy in the class around that trough when we were pissing.
And
who thinks that's a good design?
That would be applause.
No, wait. Everybody get your dicks out there. All right.
Thanks.
I don't understand what you worried about. Someone seeing your dick? Was that the bad problem?
Yeah, I think it was. It was seeing my dick. I think that was part of it, not all of it.
What do you mean not all of it? Not all of your dick? You were just going to stick the head out and piss?
No.
You're going to end up pissing all over your pants.
Seeing my dick, I think, was only part of the problem. I hated the sound of, piss hitting the water, and I hated for anyone to hear that sound. That's awful. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
How could piss hitting water be an awful sound? That's the sound of shame for you?
Yes, that's an embarrassing sound for me. And you know what's
You wonder why your kidneys shut down now.
And you know what's worse for me now? Is with the pee shyness, the fact that it doesn't work, just like when I'm trying to pee now, and you just hear spurts hit the water instead of a stream.
Yeah, you know why? Because you fucked your whole urinary tract up. From not fucking healthily pissing when it's time to piss. You've withheld so much that you've screwed it up.
My mom used to be so mad at me when I would get home from school, because some days I would just come in doing the crazy pee-pee dance.
I'm sure.
You know, just running in and, you know, flying for the bathroom. And my mother would get so upset, and she would just, why don't you just go at school? You know you have to go. Why are you putting yourself through this?
Did you explain because she had pulled any masculine abilities out of your soul? I turned you into the silliest girl in PS445, whatever your school was called? What was your school?
Grace Lutheran.
Oh, God. Fucking Lutherans.
No, I just told...
What if we put on Luther Vandross music? Would be able to pee then?
I don't think that would soothe it out of me.
Yeah.
No, I just told Coconut Annie that I didn't have to go when I was at school.
No, Coconut Annie has to be a brand new name. Keep an eye on this news up there, would you, too? It looks like the U.S. is sending some of our air marshals to Britain. I don't like this fucking terrorism stuff, as I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm not a big fan of the terrorists.
Yeah, if you're flying in the United States today, no carry-on liquids. So that cup of Starbucks that you got with you, you're not bringing that on. You're not bringing on a bottle of water. You're not bringing on shampoo, toothpaste.
Well, you know, I saw something on TV not too long ago. You're able to take on bottles of wine onto an airplane, right? What's to stop somebody from breaking that and stabbing somebody in the neck?
Yeah,
it's a lot worse than a lighter.
Or nail scissors that you're not allowed to bring on.
The lighter thing is done, right?
The lighter thing is done. They have like a little bin there at security where it's just filled with lighters from people bringing them and dumping them in.
What if it's a nice lighter? A lighter that your grandfather gave you?
You're still not getting it on. Then they've got things set up where you can fill out an envelope and have your belongings FedEx back to you.
Yeah. I want my fucking Zippo, bitch. My uncle used this to light fucking huts on fire in Vietnam. Means a lot to us. A lot.
So the only liquids allowed on U.S. air flights today, baby formula and liquid medications.
Look, my uncle really did. This is his Zippo lighter. Look at this. Look how old it is, Fez. This is from the Vietnam War.
Oh, yeah.
And on the back, he wrote, "They used to scream as we burned their huts." And he gave me that for my 7th birthday.
Well, that's engraved just to you there.
Mm-hmm. They used to scream as we burned their huts. I'll tell you, I miss him.
That sentiment get you emotional?
Well, I just, he was such a great guy.
Burning huts with people in them.
Well, it's a war, Fez. I don't know whether you know this or not. Bad things happen in war. And so he fought so that you could stay at home with bad cupcakes, not being able to pee in front of other people.
Why engrave it?
There is a medical term for what you have. You're unable to pee in public, and the sounds scare you, right?
Yeah, the sound of pissing is humiliating and shameful.
All right, I got it right here in this psychology book. You're known as fag.
That is not in a book.
Hold on, it's short for faggot.
I think we all know what fag is short for.
There you go.
Is that even a medical book?
I'm going to highlight this in yellow so you can look at it. No, this is this.
That's just the card.
Yeah, I wrote that in there.
That you got with the smoked salmon.
But then for a second you thought it was a medical book.
Very small one.
Here's Graham. Graham, you're on Manifest.
Hey, boys, how you doing?
Yeah.
Calling from Toronto. I just wanted to let Stezzy know that he's not alone in his little bathroom issue. When I was growing up, I had a little bit of a problem when I was taking a crap. If somebody came in, I had to be really, really quiet because I didn't want anybody to know I was in there.
Why?
Well, how kids sometimes like to joke around. They peer over top of the walls or something like that. I didn't want anybody to hear me if I farted or had a big poop or something in the water or something like that. I didn't want anybody to hear it, so I just was really quiet, and so nobody would know I was in there.
It's so funny because other kids demand that other people hear their farts. It's so odd how life is. Here's the funny thing. You ever notice this, like, if you're in a toilet stall, if somebody tries to come in, what do you say?
Someone's in here.
Why someone? You never say someone for anything else. Everything else is I'm. with that, you say, someone's in here, as if to say, it may not even be me. There is an unknown human who's taking a shit right now.
I totally believe in that. I wouldn't mind putting on a fake beard and glasses to disguise myself.
That someone in here is 100% across the board. And if, like, I'll try to use a stall and someone goes, someone in here, I'll go like this. And just who is that someone?
God, that would freak me out. I'd never come back out.
Someone's in here. I'm not saying who. But someone's in here with their pants down.
I don't want my identity known as the shitter.
People shit, people piss, Fez. That's why we have restrooms. If you don't do that, normally the urine will back up so far you'll have a heart attack.
I had a heart attack last November.
Interesting.
And they couldn't get me to piss in the hospital.
And then the other thing is you kept talking about your, what do you call that thing that they give you so that you can piss?
Oh, the catheter.
So, Earl, this is a fucking true story. So he's laying on the thing. He keeps bringing up the catheter, right? Now, I don't want to hear about it. I know that he's upset because, hey, a tube going into your dick, everyone's going to be upset with that, right? Am I right? That's 100% with any male. You don't want anything going into your fucking pee hole.
Absolutely.
And he brought it up to me 15 times. Ronnie, when they put that catheter on. Oh, I thought I was going to die when they put the catheter. And I'm like, I know, bro. I can't even look at him when he's saying it. Later, I find out it's not a fucking catheter at all. He did not get the catheter.
I got an external catheter.
He got a condom put on his fucking dick to piss in.
It was really, really thick rubber, and that nurse was so frickin' rough and snapping that thing on.
Bro, compared to a tube in your fucking thing, that would be a dream to me. I would fucking, I'm gonna beg, no matter what they do to me, give me the fucking condom. Because I don't want the tube in my dick. Not so much for going in, but coming out. Earl, where are you going? You gotta stay and do the show with me.
That's disgusting.
Now, would you be freaked by the external catheter?
Yes.
Why? That's a fucking dream.
No, but I would rather, if given a choice between the catheter and the condom, give me the condom.
I don't think anyone would fucking care about a condom.
Oh, I was glad that it wasn't an internal catheter, but still, I mean, the way that thing was, I was being roughhoused with that thing going on me.
You were touched by a woman for the first time. Why wouldn't you just enjoy it?
It was driving me nuts. I was just manhandled. They shaved me down, both sides of my groin, and then slapped that thing on me. I was like in some sort of genitorturer show or something like that.
What do you mean both sides of your groin? Would they leave you with a little Hitler stash?
I had a landing strip by the time they were done. That was because where they went in with the... All right, now this is another term for catheter. When they went in with that line into my artery to put the stent in... They go in through the groin, and they have to shave both sides in case one side doesn't work.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening to you right after the catheter. Other than that, it's just back to the same shit I hear every day. All right, Fez, this got brought to me by The Flash, who I got to go out on a limb here and say he's the best intern I've ever met in my life. He's the only intern that will Google something for me. So your pee shyness is called... Parruis. P-A-R-U-R-I-S. It's an anxiety, a social anxiety disorder. And you're unable to pee in a public restroom. It's also described as stage fright, which maybe that's what Robbie Robertson was singing about so long ago.
Perruis. Should have been the name of the song.
It goes beyond simple shyness, embarrassing, or desire for privacy, and is much more severe and may cause the inability to urinate.
Yeah, because I've had it where the shyness, where it's so bad that even though I know I have to go, I still can't go.
Normally this only affects teens. It's unusual for an adult to have it. And some people first experience the problem when adults get it when they lock up attempting to produce a sample for a drug test. Because if you take certain drug tests, Fez, you have to pee in front of someone.
Oh, okay.
So that you can't fake your, bringing, your girlfriend's pee or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken a drug test.
No, you work in radio. Here, it's one of the few places they fucking prefer that you take drugs so you can pick the hits.
I couldn't possibly have taken a drug test.
Mark, you're on Run of Fez.
Fez, do you pee sitting down?
He wouldn't be able to run if that was the case. He actually shits standing up. This is the fear that goes into him. He's like a deer. He's constantly ready to go.
I have to make sure I'm out of there before someone else starts knocking on that bathroom door.
You ever see a deer, in the woods, when it goes to get a drink of water and it puts its head up, it's always so fucking freaked out? That's Fez when it's time to piss. He has his dick out, he puts it back in. Dick's out, puts it back in.
I'm lucky if I can get it out sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know why you worry about all this. Chris, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Ron. Missed on board Fez.
Me too.
Hey, I was in the hospital about 10 years ago. I had emergency surgery, and they put the catheter up my dick while I was asleep, getting ready,
right.
in surgery. And I had it in there for about 3 days, and about 8 o'clock at night, I'm in and out of a morphine high.
God bless you.
And the nurse comes in, flips open the covers, and rips the catheter out of my dick.
How far in does it go?
It was in a good 2 inches.
That's all? I thought it went in even further.
I would have guessed 6.
Oh, congratulations, Fezzy. I had no idea.
Trust me, that fucker felt like 6. I was in pain for a good 4 hours after that happened, and they did leave me alone the rest of the night.
So, all right, man. Peace. Wow. See, I can't, I don't want that. I want to go your way. I want the fucking condom. I'll fill that fucking balloon. I don't want a tube in my fucking piss hole.
They kept waiting for me to fill my balloon, and by the time I finally went, oh man, I really had to go then, and I was nervous that I was going to fill up the entire bag because I waited so long to go.
Just sitting there in your own shame.
And then that was, of course, I think about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when the nurses, when the floor was quiet.
You're already awake, right?
Yeah.
Why not just let you have a fucking cup? Take the fucking condom off, piss in a fucking bowl, hand that over to her, say, here, piss wench, take that and throw it out.
For some reason, you're just not allowed to do any of that stuff when you're in intensive care. I wasn't allowed to do any of that until they moved me into a regular room.
Why didn't you just pull it off yourself? It's just a condom.
Once I was allowed to, I did have to remove it myself.
Why didn't you do it anytime? What do you mean allowed to? You're allowed to do whatever you want in this world. What do you think, that you were on, the police had you? In a hospital that you're paying for.
Well, I didn't have a jug, and when I was in intensive care, I couldn't get out of the bed if I wanted to.
Still, you go, bring me a fucking bowl. I'm pissing in that. Stand up for yourself a little bit.
I'm never going to ask for a piss jug. They'll know what I want it for.
I don't understand why you don't ask for what you want in your life. That's a big problem with your pee shyness. You think there's something unnatural about natural things. That's your big problem. How's the new song from Perry?
It's good.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes, and this is about Fez when you were a child. Once again, you're blaming your mom on something that seems small, but you're very upset with her because the cupcakes that you took to school.
It was my 3rd grade birthday. My mom made cupcakes. She made Easter cupcakes where it was green shredded coconut with a jelly bean Easter egg in the middle of it. No kid wanted my cupcakes. I went home with most of them.
Patty Pneumonia tried to buy some love with cupcakes, but you can't buy love with coconuts. Coconut cupcakes. Patty Pneumonia tried to buy some love with cupcakes, but you can't buy love with coconuts. Coconut cupcakes. You and I both know those cupcakes never made it back home. Like you said, sitting on a school bus, stuff in your face. No one likes coconut cupcakes. No one likes coconut cupcakes. No one likes coconut cupcakes.
Except for you, Fatty Pneumonia.
That's your mom.
Thanks, Perrynoid.
So is that who ate the coconut cupcakes? Fatty pneumonia?
I couldn't eat my own cupcakes.
I had a feeling that maybe you threw some coconut on there to keep the other kids from getting it.
God, that's...
Maybe even a little spittle.
That song, and now it's going to be stuck in my head all day long. Coconut cupcake.
Well, just don't listen to it again. Don't let yourself get caught up in that, Fez.
Fatty pneumonia tried to buy some love with cupcakes, but you can't buy love with coconuts. Coconut cupcakes. Fatty pneumonia tried to buy some love with cupcakes, but you can't buy love with coconuts. Coconut cupcakes. You and I both know those cupcakes never made it back home. Like you said, sitting on a school bus, stuffing your face. No one likes coconut cupcakes. No one likes coconut cupcakes. No one likes coconut cupcakes.
Except for you, Fatty Pneumonia.
I'm sure you can hear that on thecosmiccircus.com.